So here's something that's going to make a lot of JavaScript developers mad at me. So after building software for over 2 decades, I'm going to tell you that .NET is still the best choice for startups, and it's not even close. Why are the highest paid developers making $130,000 to $160,000 a year consistently choosing C# over JavaScript? Why did Microsoft just release .NET 10 with 49% faster response times than .NET 8? And .NET 8 was already pretty incredible as it was. And why are enterprise companies like Netflix, Dell, Uber running their critical systems on this boring old technology while startups chase shiny new frameworks that break every 6 months? So I'm going to break down some reasons why I still love .NET and why your startup should still see this secret weapon. Let's dive into it today. Welcome to Startup Pack. I'm Spencer, and here at Startup Pack, we love to build custom software solutions for companies. With a decade of executive leadership as a fractional CTO and 25 years in software development, I've mastered transforming tech teams and products. All right. Now, look, I get it. The tech world loves to chase new trends, but in my experience, advising dozens of startups, the ones that pick the most stable, boring technology, the performant technology over what's trending on Hacker News, are the ones still around 10 years later, right? So .NET 10 just dropped, and Microsoft's calling it their most productive, modern, secure, and high-performance version ever. So we're going to break down why this matters for your startup today. So very first thing, the performance that actually matters. .NET 10 delivers 49% faster average response times compared to .NET 8. That's not just marketing fluff. That's a measured improvement, and .NET 8 was already incredible. Microsoft's just-in-time compiler improvements mean your code runs faster without you changing a single line. JSON serialization is now 20 to 40% faster, and we all know the internet runs on JSON. So this matters when every API call counts for your users. The garbage collection enhancements reduce latency in real-time applications so your app doesn't randomly freeze. Now that this has been a problem for a long time. Now, new stack allocation for small fixed-size arrays eliminates memory overhead that can slow down high-traffic applications. Now, as always, the best compliment you can give me is to make sure you leave a comment down below. And all you JavaScript lovers out there, come at me. Now, we still obviously write a lot of our front-end stuff using TypeScript with React and Angular. But the back end, it belongs to C#. Sorry, folks. .NET 10 is a long-term support or LTS support release, and this means Microsoft will support until November of 2028, 3 years of total stability. And honestly, the upgrade from .NET 8 to .NET 10 was like one line change. So I'm sure .NET 10 to the next version is going to be just as easy. Now, when a JavaScript library maintainer decides to quit and unpublish their packages, thousands of app breaks. Remember LeftPad, right? In .NET, Microsoft has your back with a consistent backwards compatible framework that doesn't break your production code. And the thing is Microsoft's not going anywhere, right? You're backed by the biggest tech company in the world. The tooling actually works out of the box. Visual Studio, VS Code, Rider all provide professional-grade debugging and IntelliSense. And if that isn't enough of a reason right there, I don't know what is, because they have powerful debugging that is just built right in. So I've seen startups spend weeks trying to debug Node.js dependency conflicts that would never happen in .NET ecosystem because you can compile it and see it right away. After 25 years in software development, I've learned that stability isn't boring. It's the foundation that lets you move fast on features. But honestly, the older I get to, the boring is better, right? Now with C# you can build apps, build web API, desktop apps, mobile apps, games, and even machine learning models without switching languages. And if you don't believe me, we've been dropping programming videos here on how to program AI applications with .NET. And if you want to get started, you can see these machines that are back over my shoulder on this side here. Where are they? Over there? Yep, that's it. I'm still not used to this, but those machines over here, these are AI machines that I've built for under $1,000 that are running critical things. They're not running critical things in my office. These are dev and building machines, right? But these machines, and we give you tutorials on how to build these yourself and how to build real code on these. So with C# you can build all of these things. Node.js looks great until you need CPU intensive work. And then suddenly you're going to go or Python, or you heard it, back to .NET, right? Now, .NET's versatility means your team stay productive in one ecosystem instead of context switching between 5 different languages. Now, .NET's versatility means that you don't have to learn a ton of different languages. Now, if you want to dive into Blazor, knock yourself out. I'm not a huge Blazor fan yet, haven't been converted, and I'm sure there's a lot of Blazor people who are going to come at me, but don't quite see it yet. Still use JavaScript on the front end. But .NET MAUI is really interesting. We've dabbled with a little bit. My team uses Flutter in all of our stacks, just because mostly that's a talent we've had. But .NET MAUI is gaining traction quickly. So the cognitive load of maintaining one language stack versus 3 or 4 is massive, and it directly impacts your startup's velocity. Now, .NET 10 ships with Microsoft's agent framework, which makes it easy to build sophisticated AI applications. Now, myself personally, I don't really use a lot of the out-of-the-box agent framework stuff. I've played with it a little bit, but for me personally, I'd stick with Ollama for a small application or Llama CPP for larger systems. But there's some pretty interesting model context protocols that come right out of the box. Now, some of the other things you get is like Entity Framework 10. Now, myself personally, I really like to use Dapper instead of Entity Framework, but I know a lot of people out there who use Entity Framework, and the new EF Core 10 is now includes vector search support from Azure SQL. So you can get RAG capabilities right into your ORM. Now, we recently just dropped a video about how to program RAG. So make sure you check out the video because we drop a ton of free code samples, completely free. And I even have videos to show you how to build some free servers like these ones back behind me. Now, Visual Studio 2026 ships with integrated profile Copilot agent to help you optimize your code. So yes, AI tooling for .NET is catching up fast. And honestly, it's getting better and better every day. Now, remote .NET developers are averaging anywhere up from 100,000 to 130,000 per year, with senior positions getting 160,000 or higher. These salaries are competitive or better than most JavaScript equivalents. Companies pay premium rates for .NET because they know the code will be maintainable and that the developers are typically more experienced and that they can develop very efficiently and effectively as well as secure. The .NET job market is stable and growing, not boom and bust like some of the other trendier technologies. So in my consulting work, we use all .NET for all of the platforms that we build. When investors ask about your tech stack, .NET signals maturity and scalability. And if anybody said, I'm not familiar with that, you say, it's Microsoft's tech stack, and everybody's happy with that. Now, people say the C# is too verbose compared to JavaScript, but that argument absolutely died with C# 10, 11, 12, 13, and now 14. File-based apps in .NET 10 lets you write a single CS file and run it directly. No solution file, no project file, just code. So top-level statements mean your main method can be one line. This isn't your grandfather's C#. I remember when I very first started to run C#, I was like, what are all these projects and things? Now that's all gone. For larger projects, you're still going to use projects and solutions, but if you just need a down and dirty project to run quickly, you can still write actually inline code now. So extension members in C# 14 represent a massive quality of life upgrade that reduces boilerplates dramatically. So the field-backed properties features alone eliminates hundreds of lines of repetitive code in real applications. Now, one of the amazing things too with .NET is minimal APIs because they absolutely destroy the too complex argument here. .NET Core's minimal API lets you build production-ready endpoints with almost no ceremony. Built-in validation for minimal APIs in .NET 10 means you spend less time writing boilerplate validation code. OpenAI 3.1 is now default, so your API documentation is always standard compliant. Now, passkey-based authentication is built in, meaning passwordless auth without third-party dependencies. Automatic memory pooling eviction improves performance without you having to even think about memory management. So .NET also, the thing I hear all the time is, well, doesn't .NET only run on Windows? Man, 2014 calls and wants its information back. .NET runs on Windows, Linux, Mac OS, iOS, Android, and even WebAssembly. One code base everywhere. Deploy to Azure, AWS, DigitalOcean, on-prem, or without vendor lock-in, so you can write your own application. Docker containers for .NET are first-class citizens with excellent tooling and documentation, and every single platform supports them. So seriously, let me know in the comments if you've had success. But for me, I've been running .NET on Linux for over a decade now, and I love it. It is blazing fast. Haven't run on Windows. I have one VM that I still have an old framework 4.8 stuff that still hasn't been converted, but I got a team working on it right now. Now, native AOT compilation in .NET 10 means faster startup times and smaller deployment sizes for containerized apps. Now, NuGet packages go through a more rigorous review process than NPM's anybody can publish anything approach. And any framework core gives you a mature ORM that doesn't change its API every 6 months. And again, like I mentioned before, I like to use Dapper instead of Entity Framework. The .NET Standard Library covers most common functionality without needing third-party packages for basic operations. Microsoft documentation is comprehensive and accurate, not Stack Overflow answers from 2015. Now, when you hit a problem, the solution usually exists in Microsoft's official docs, not some random Medium article somewhere. So C# catches bugs at compile time that JavaScript would never catch until production. So strong typing makes refactoring safe, which makes your startup even stronger and faster to pivot. IntelliSense actually works because the compiler knows your types. No more guessing what properties exist. The null condition assignment operators in C# 14 eliminates entire categories of null reference errors. TypeScript is JavaScript's admission that types matter. Why not just use a language designed with types from day one like C#? I've debugged countless JavaScript apps where the bug was simply wrong type passed a function, and C# makes this absolutely impossible. Control-Shift-B, build, and you'll know. So Microsoft, and that's if the IntelliSense hasn't stopped you before that, or you're just too lazy to ignore it. Microsoft uses .NET for Azure, but honestly, we host it on most other things. I've had a lot of projects on Azure. We've had projects in AWS, and we even do a lot of hosting with DigitalOcean and other frameworks. The .NET Foundation ensures that community governance alongside Microsoft's investment. If you're using DigitalOcean, one of the best things I like to do is host a server and then actually use Docker containers, because the .NET Docker containers are fantastic, first-class citizens, and spin up and spin down. We actually have built out our own system of workers, which actually work like functions that spin up and down, and they spin up in microseconds. But thousands of contributors beyond Microsoft ensure diverse perspective and rapid bugs fix. Microsoft's cloud strategy is built on .NET. They have massive financial incentive to keep improving it. So even Clippy got a comeback as a micro in Copilot, and Microsoft didn't clearly abandon anything that works, right? Fortune 500 companies overwhelmingly choose .NET for critical systems because they need reliability, not hype. Startups that scale successfully often migrate to .NET, not away from it. So one of the first things I'd tell you, if you're starting a startup or a small project, dive into .NET, because it'll save you time later to have to migrate to it. When your startup gets acquired, the enterprise buyer will appreciate .NET codebase that they can actually maintain. This boring technology choice is often the smart technology choice when runaway depends on shipping features. Now, a lot of big companies out there use it. There's far more. Like I said, the majority of the Fortune 500 companies are built on their building on .NET for their critical systems. Now, curious to hear what you guys think. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Give a big shout out there. If you're a .NET user, make sure you drop a comment down below and be like, we love .NET. But here at Startup Hack, we love to build custom software solutions for companies. So hit us up if we can help, and reach out to startuphack.com, and here's some great information about our services.
Hi, I'm Spencer, a fractional CTO. With over a decade of executive leadership and 25 years in software development, I've transformed technology teams and products for businesses just like yours. As your fractional CTO, you get the strategic guidance of a seasoned technology executive without the full-time commitment. Perfect for companies ready to leverage cutting-edge technology without expanding headcounts. My team at Startup Hack has already built advanced AI agents for small and medium businesses, automating complex workflows and delivering advanced ROI to human workflows. We specialize in creating custom software that connects your systems into a single coherent technology ecosystem. Our development approach focuses on tangible business outcomes. For one client, we developed AI-powered workflows that cut days off of human processes. For another company, by connecting multiple systems, we reduced processing time to increase their ROI by over 75%. We don't just write code, we architect solutions that scale. Whether you need cloud system architecture, data integration between legacy systems, or custom AI agents that automate your unique business processes, my team delivers results that exceed your expectations. Having led technology for a lot of companies and launched 7 successful brands of my own, I bring battle-tested expertise to your business challenges. Our specialty is turning technological complexity into business advantage. So if you're ready to harness the power of AI and custom software to drive your business forward, let's connect. Together, we'll build technology that doesn't just solve today's problems, it positions you for tomorrow's opportunities. Technology leadership, decades of experience, AI powered. Reach out today and we can help you. Check out startuphack.com/Spencer.